Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here. For this project, we'll be using a few supplies from This Calls for Confetti. I'll be working with the Bigfoot print die, the Alice birthday sentiment stamp and die set, some festive confetti pieces in earthy outdoor-inspired colors, and a selection of pattern paper from the elusive print designs. This paper pad is currently out of stock, but it will be available soon in a larger design. As we create today's project, I'll bring in a few extra tools and materials, but remember, feel free to use whatever you have in your own collection. Card making is all about creativity and making the project your own. If you'd like a full list of the products I'm using, you'll find one in the description below, along with my affiliate link to the This Calls for Confetti shop. Let's go ahead and get started with this interactive birthday card. We're going to start with the shaker panel first. I've trimmed this piece a little smaller than a standard card front. This is a larger die, so I'm going to tilt it slightly to the left for a bit of playful movement. This leaves us with a super cute die cut, and there's an impression of Bigfoot's furry toes. How fun is that? I'm reaching for my autumn artisanal die set and cutting out a couple of simple leaves that we'll use to decorate the card. You can pick out any leaf shape you like, or even get creative with other small embellishments you have on hand. Off camera, I stamped a happy birthday sentiment using the Alice's Story birthday collection. Instead of simply attaching this to the card with foam tape, I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut out the sentiment and several other sentiment pieces. I'm going to stack these die cut pieces on top of each other and glue them together. This is going to create a thicker chipboard-like sentiment that pops off the card with a polished, layered look. Now that everything is cut, let's take a look at the items you're going to need for today's card. The front panel with the Bigfoot cutout, a card panel frame that I have cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This was cut from that 6x6 paper pack. I also have another piece of pattern paper with an outdoor forest image from that 6x6 paper pack. The stamped sentiment, extra layers for thickness, and the leaves. Oh, I also have some acetate. We're going to start building the shaker portion first with this. I have a piece of clear acetate. My acetate is a random leftover piece that isn't cut to size, so I'm going to have to finagle it a bit. Typically, you would just cut your acetate so it's a little larger than the window opening, but I am running low on acetate, so I'm using what I have. I'm going to adhere it to the back side of the die cut panel with some strong double-sided tape. I prefer this over liquid glue because it has a stronger hold. Not all liquid glue adheres to acetate. I'm going to give it a gentle press and make sure this is secure. And then I'll trim off the excess pieces. I realized that I forgot to add ink shading before I attach the acetate, so I'm just going to use this Bigfoot die cut as a mask to protect the acetate. I'm using a blending brush with espresso ink to add a distress-like look. After spritzing it with water for texture and blotting off the excess, we're going to get this simple yet impactful distressed look. Now I'm going to choose which part of the paper pad image I want to feature behind my Bigfoot. Once you've decided what section to frame, we're going to trace this with a pencil And then I'm going to cut it slightly smaller to fit as the background layer. I'm using 2mm foam tape along the edges. This will form my outer frame to keep that panel from sagging. Now I'll make sure to fully enclose the footprint shape so none of the confetti escapes outside the image. Now that the foam tape is in place, we can add our shaker elements. I'll start with a little anti-static powder on the acetate and on the background image. This is going to prevent the confetti pieces from sticking together. Now we can sprinkle in some of those earthy confetti bits. I chose matte black, satin walnut, satin moss green, and a lighter color of matte cloudy day. I have included the list of all of these in the description below. Once you've added the confetti, carefully peel away the backing from your foam tape. I like to add a small amount of liquid adhesive to my foam tape to fill in any gaps and allow slight repositioning if needed. I'm going to set this over the pattern paper, pressing it firmly so everything seals together. Go ahead and give your panel a little shake and make sure the confetti moves freely and nothing slips out. Now I'm going to adhere this to my front panel, and our shaker element is finished and ready to be the star of the card. As that base dries, I'm going to quickly create the leaves using some Distress Oxide inks. With a blender brush, I'm going to add peeled paint and bundled sage. For texture, I'm going to spritz water over the top. This is also going to bring out the vein details. Then I'll bring in a heat tool and dry the leaves before I add them to the card. I'm going to adhere these leaves in place over on the left, forming a small little cluster. I am bending them slightly before I adhere them in place. The die-cut sentiment pieces are going to be layered together for dimension, similar to using foam tape. With thinner sentiments like this, layers are much easier than cutting foam tape. The sentiment was stamped in espresso ink and heat embossed. That's going to help it stand out just a little bit more. I'm going to make sure that this is nice and straight, let everything dry, and then I'll share the completed design with you. And there you have it, a beautiful handmade shaker card ready to go. I added a bit of jute twine for texture and some moss green sequin for color. This easy project makes a great birthday card for anyone who loves the outdoors. Don't forget to join us over at the This Calls for Confetti Facebook group. There's a wonderful community of crafters sharing tips, tricks, and beautiful designs. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about the project or supplies I used, feel free to post those in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.